All right. Yay. Hello, everybody. Oh, sorry. Um, my channel is a channel, I guess. I don't really do that much with it. Like I try to do stuff, but I really don't. So yeah, it's out there. If anyone wants to check it out, it's not very impressive. It's a small channel, but it gets the job done. If you know what I'm saying.
Can people hear us now? I don't know, man. There might be a wee, probably 10, 15 seconds delay.
Just give them a second if there's people that check and see.
Yes, there we go. Happy days. We've all got sound now.
Goody goody.
So, yeah, originally, man, Richard had got back to me first. So, I hadn't heard his conversion story. I was interested in hearing that. You've explained yours to me before. If you're willing to, maybe other people haven't, they might have an interest in it.
Like I said, okay, I guess so. I mean, for the
Summary
most part,
version, yeah.
yeah, for the most part, it's not really like a conversion, but more of a coming to realization. Um, for me, like I said, I guess it's not like anyone came up to me like, you need to turn your faith to God because God's got all the answers for you.
Well, it
I
does
was like,
happen a
oh,
lot.
you're right, you know. But no, it was not like that. It's just me, just being weird, looking at mythology, and then all of a sudden I turn onto the Bible because I never really looked at it, and it's just me reading the Bible and then me coming to faith through extra biblical sources first, and then the Bible to confirm it later.
And you would consider yourself unorthodox. You're not, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, clearly, anyone that knows Tog knows that he's fucking unorthodox.
Well,
In a good way, man. In a good way. Usually, the unorthodox are the most relaxed and better, more relaxed sort of. They're not going to scream at you and shout at you like yourself and people like Richard and things like that. You know, you can have a conversation with yourselves. You try and have a conversation with Jill, you're just too busy trying to beat yourself over the head or beat him over the head.
with his atheism, yeah. He's the quiet liberals.
You
That's
dirty
one thing
liberal.
I do
That's
like
it,
about
yeah.
him is that that's like my favorite thing though was his whole demeanor about the way he goes apologetic. Like if he was a Poe, I'd love it because it's perfect, you know. He's so well played, I think.
His streams are perfectly timed for whenever my woman gets up out of bed on a Sunday, and I would have it on the TV in the living room. And like 2 weeks ago, he was all spouting about the Catholics aren't real religious people, or aren't real Christians. My woman then was like, "What the fuck's going?" It was hilarious. He started telling my woman all this stuff, and she would just turn that off. Just turn that off. It's hilarious.
Well,
There he is. We say his name, and he shall arrive.
there's some weird stuff going on with I saw this post on social media website that they're starting to say F the Pope because he's starting to let paganism within the Catholic churches or something. They're embracing it or something. Like, oh yeah, it's cool. And everyone's like, well, what the hell is this? You know, paganism in the church. Yeah, don't like this Pope anymore. So everyone's like, yeah, you need to boycott this Pope because of something that happened. I think down in Brazil or something. It was some protest going on with paganism, and the Pope was like, yo, yeah, you guys are fine, you guys are cool. And everyone's like, what do you mean?
Now,
And it was crazy.
I'm from Northern Ireland. I've been listening to Fuck the Pope for an awful long time. Between the way it is over here, that's something they say. Well, did so much back in the day, not so much now. Oh my God, Eat Dawn! I'm instantly gonna ban you if you just start
Hey,
shit.
Jesus, the Lord is here. All right. Sorry.
Oh, we're having a Lucy Luxor raid. Hello, Lucy. Yeah, Lucy's live at the minute. She did a win. She kidnapped God's teddy bear and threatened to set fire to him unless she got a God mask. So I think he's caved in and they're giving him a god mask now. So she's live. She must be rating us. They just sort of jump in and shout hello and then jump away again.
That's cool. I think I've seen her on the Good Ones channel.
Yeah. Lucy's famous, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
No, she's not. Well, she's 1K Lucy, yeah. Hello, Nerdy. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, Jared and Critical Cripple and Nim, even though I'm a filthy Irishman, and everyone else, you know, thanks for turning up.
You okay? Something happened.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The dog was behind me going buck mad, doing his wee thing after he had his dinner.
I thought it was like a cat or something. I was like, oh shit.
Oh no, he eats his dinner and then he comes over and rolls on the carpet, and then in about 5 minutes he'll whinge at me to let him out.
Oh, that's a good pupper though.
Oh yeah, he's lasting well. He's still like a tank, and he's 15 there April past.
Ooh, that's a good year too, 15 for a dog. Oh my goodness.
Well, he's a mongrel, like he's a Jack Russell crossed with a Staffy, so he looks like a Jack Russell but just bigger and stockier. Oh right, yeah, definitely getting a Lucy raid. Well, I have to say, Eat Dawn won first. Lucy, you have to give him the points. He won. Hello, Enlightened Cafe and Leona. Hello, these are all people from Lucy's. And you were not the only pig. I came first, Lord Pigman. Hello, Lieutenant Galloway. Nick. Yeah, stop talking to the chat. Yeah, so anyway, no. Old dog, religion, all that, yeah. So I was asking you, man, do you want to do a wee summary version just for the people who don't know about do you want to tell the owl story? Or...
Which one?
Well, I've only heard one owl story. Hello, graced by God.
I don't remember that. I don't know what you're referring to be honest.
You seen an owl statue on a shelf?
You're even about to think, oh. I guess you can consider that a convergent story.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought was your epiphany.
Oh, no, that's just an experience I had. I was already in faith before that, you know, it's just an experience I had that kind of affirmed it more. But yeah, I guess one of these days I was just looking at, I guess, like videos of YouTube, and I was just looking up stuff about like Kabbalah research and things of like when it went into like animals representations and all that. And, you know, popular one is the owl, and the owl has wisdoms, and it's also used for like symbolic meaning, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I was comparing it to that of like the snake or whatever that you hear from biblical things. And so, like, it came out, you know, it spooked me a little bit, finding things out about the owls. And then, like, I went shopping a couple...
Oh, well, I broke that. There we go. Sorry, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave the name is wrong. It's supposed to be, you know, this, and it says did it work, and I hit the edit, and yeah, that happened. So we'll not do that again. Everything seems to be working, so we'll just leave it as is.
Okay.
Yeah, I shouldn't get greedy. I've eventually got the damn thing working. I shouldn't get greedy and try and do fucking shit mid thing.
You're fine.
It's a fucking learning experience, everyone. What can you do?
It is. It's fun too.
Hi, Tony. Thanks for dropping by.
But yeah, like, and pretty much like I saw the owl statue, and it was just a weird coincidence because it was in a place where I didn't expect it to be, because like the owls belong in the decoration aisle, and that was far away, and here I am over in the dog food aisle. And it was one of those weird coincidences. Yeah, of course somebody put it there. When you logically think about it, but still, for it to be at the time, and then me to ask, and just for it to be there, I think it's just, yeah, I might be reading into a little too much. I can say that. Yeah, people can understand that. I can see it from that point of view. Perhaps it's true. I can see that. You know, me being under some type of, well, you're only believing in it just to believe in it. You know.
No, I totally get you, man. If anything, now, whenever I was out shopping in Tesco's the other day and I did, put something out of the trolley back on a random shelf, and every time I do that now, I think of you.
That's cool.
It's like somebody could see this here and pick it up, and they might, whatever. But yeah,
Yes.
coincidences do happen though. Purely by chance. Me and Tony were talking earlier, and I sent him a link to a specific server, and then in another server, someone popped up with the exact same, well, not the exact same conversation, but mentioning the same server again, and it was within minutes of each other.
Oh, that's cool.
Just coincidence, like.
Yeah, it's always weird when it comes to like coincidence. Either A, it's coincidental, yeah, this happens to be this case, and then or B, it's just too coincidental. It always freaks me out when things get too coincidental.
Well, it depends.
There's no like.
At the end of the day, man, it's what makes you think and believe what it makes you think and believe. It was poignant to you at the time, like.
Yeah, that's the weird part. If I can understand if it wasn't like fucking just if it was just there, and like I'm just like, oh, there's an owl here, but no, this thing was like I literally just turned the fucking corner and it's dead staring at me in my face. Eye level. Like that's what are you gonna do? You look on a shelf, you turn the corner, it's just right there. You're asking for a sign. It's like, hello, hoo-hoo. Big fucking serious looking owl. That's a little statuette looking you in the face. And it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, straight out of nowhere. No, well, I was brought up, I don't have a conversion story because I was brought up Christian and I haven't reconverted, Mm-hmm. Everybody's heard my deconversion on Richards there a couple of weeks ago, so there's no point in me talking that again. Like, it's a shame he didn't turn up. I was hoping he would turn up.
We should talk about it for the people in the future that watch your videos who don't know you.
Oh, my deconversion story, yeah. Short story, my mother and father broke up when I was at church. I went to the pew, I asked for help. I ain't got no help. I tried nothing. It just got worse and worse and worse, and then just left. Lost my faith after that.
Because your parents split up, though?
Well, because my parents split up and I was very, very, well, I say very deep into it. I was maybe 11 at the time, but I was going 3 times on a Sunday, going on a Wednesday, going on a Friday, and training for a junior soldier. I was with the Salvation Army,
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
I have my wee Bible that's covered in stickers for top of class and all that. I was deep into it for my age at that time, like. And thought that at least if I did all that for him, that I would get some sort of support back. But as it came, I didn't get no support, and then things got worse. So I stopped going less and less, and then it gradually, that was it. It was handy enough as well, something similar to the internet, where if you're having a conversation, you can just switch off. With the Salvation Army, they actually had a minibus that came and lifted you. So all I had to do was just tell them to stop picking me up.
Oh, yeah.
My mum, yeah, like my mum is a Christian. She doesn't go to church or anything like that. I would refer to her more as a spiritual Christian. She's like, God's everywhere. Why do I have to stand in a building?
Yeah, that's actually a very good reason. Yeah, I mean, even Jesus says, in the temple of your mind or whatever, your body's your temple. There ain't no place you can't worship.
Yeah.
So surprisingly, I always find that in the closet, in the dark, always the best, to be honest. Like, that is pretty cool if you go in the closet, have yourself a little cry, talk to God. Like, yo, God, I'm in my closet in my house, and I've been a little shit, Lord.
Exactly, man. And she wanted us to go to church. She did take us to the Presbyterians. I'm Presbyterian by birth. I've been christened. I still have my christening dress as it is back in the fucking 80s. It's a big long white dress. Oh, man.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, I've seen those.
Crazy, And we went to the Sunday school as we got older, and my ma happened to come in one of the classes, and she was like, this is fucking extreme. So she took us out of that, and encouraging Catholic and Protestants to mix together. The Salvation Army didn't have both Catholics and Protestants, and both Catholics and Protestants are Christians. Jesus is Lord. And so she sent us to that because at the same time as being with Christ, we would be helping out with the political state in Northern Ireland at the same, mixing with people and all.
Jesus is Lord, bro. Technically, they have to be Christians because they believe in the salvation of Christ. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't be Christians. But for the mere fact that they believe in the salvation of Christ makes them Christians. Like, we can jokingly call them not Christians, just to be dicks about it. But by awful right, they are Christians. So that's what I say. If anyone wants to, like, worship God and be like, well, God's bad, right? Let them do it. Like, let them believe what they want to believe. Because at the end of the day, they don't have to answer to us as humans. They have to answer to God for every word that's spoken. So it's like, why do you even try to bother with people? Let them say whatever they want. You can only do so much for people before it blows up, you know? You're not supposed to bring people, you know, if they don't want to be led, don't lead them. You can try to. You can tell them the good news and tell them the good word, but if they don't want to hear it, they ain't going to hear it.
No, that's exactly it, man. That's why I find it better to, like, me and you have had lots of conversations before we've done this, and before we ever got serious, me and you had plenty of back and forth, what we would call just banter. I find it better to talk with people, get to know them, and then when you get to know them, you can actually be a wee bit more honest with them. You don't have to start breaking things down in philosophy and stuff like that. Like, I had that conversation with you after that certain interview, Tog, and I didn't hold back. I told you exactly what I thought, you know, and me and you are still friends over it because we've got to that level. And I think it brings a better conversation.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, when you get to that point, like, you know yourself, man, when you've got friends in real life, you can tell them they're fucking assholes. You can be honest with them.
Well, not really. I don't really... Like, I had friends in real life, but I haven't spoken to them in, like, 10 odd years. And, like, my last best friend that I had moved away. He used to come down on the weekends, but he's gone now, so I only see him, like, online. So it's very odd now, because it's like I haven't had, like, a physical friend in, like, some odd times. I guess about, like, 4 years, 2 years, something like that. I used to have, like, a homeless buddy that used to live with me. And then he went off to, like, somewhere else, so I don't see him anymore.
My best friend, who would be a girl, moved to Scotland, and my best friend, who I was in class with in tutor group and all, he's had an interview in Leeds last week, so he's considering moving to Leeds, and then that'll leave me with nobody, just my dog and my daughter and my girlfriend.
Yeah, it gets freaking lonely. Like, my girlfriend gets to go out. I just had this complaint about the other day. She was able to go out to a concert, right? And every time she goes out with her friends, I always bitch and moan and complain. Because, you know, I'm stuck at home. Now that we have kids, you know, it's really not that big of a deal, but I still like to just complain just because I can. Because I'm a jerk like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And so, like, her friend stopped by today, and she's like, why are you complaining so much? I'm like, because, man, you don't understand, man. Like, yeah, we get to do things as a family. Like, we go out to do all these fun activities and stuff. But me and her never really get to go out and do anything, like, fun adult stuff, like go out to have drinks or anything else like that. You know, I don't really drink that much, but, you know, go out and actually do adult stuff we don't get to actually do. Only she, like, gets to go out and have that fun. If I ever go out anywhere by myself, it's either to work or to go run errands for somebody. It's like I never get to, like, go on adventures, and that's the complaint that I had, is like, you get to go out and have fun on these, you know, that's it. Like, you get to have fun, but I'm stuck here at home with people. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just I rather.
Oh, no, yeah, I can understand you. Yeah, I can totally understand you, man. I have to say, though, I'm in the opposite situation. I've explained to you before. Other people probably don't know that me and the girlfriend actually live apart at the minute. Jill, I'm sure, will look down upon us because we've had a kid out of wedlock and we live apart at the minute. But due to financial issues, and I'm trying to work on a house, hopefully sell the house, make a bit of money, and then we can move in together and be better financially stable. But she has the daughter 4 days a week, and then she comes up, and I get 3 days a week with them. You know, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I spend it with the girlfriend and the daughter. So Monday, yeah. So I do have free time. She has less free time than me, but they do nice weekends away. There's always a wee deal on Groupon, and her and the mother would go away. I think last time they paid £65 for one meal, one night, and one spa treatment for 2 people. So, you know, she goes and does that every now and again. But you do need to make time for yourself, man. Me and her always once a year, we would go to Amsterdam for 3 or 4 days. Just me and her, and my mum will take the child. And you do need to make time for yourself. Amsterdam's cheap for us, though. Like, you know, it's only over the water. But
yeah. I've always wanted to go to Amsterdam. You know, in America, growing up as a kid, you heard about a little big pot place. You can smoke weed legally. So growing up, it was always like a cool place to go to.
Yeah. The first couple of times, like I've been maybe 10 or 15 times, but the first couple of times years ago when you were going, it was, if you went at the wrong stage, I think it's spring break, it's just like flooded with Americans, you know?
Yeah. I feel bad, dude, that I never actually because I always thought it was going to be super expensive because I was a dumb kid. And I didn't realize, if you had a stable job, you have money because I was a dumb kid. So, like, I'd worked, like, I'm never going to be able to go to the internet. So I just stopped and gave up on it. So that's one thing I want to do, like, eventually.
Well, what a lot.
Hopefully, like, before I turn 30, if I'm lucky. I'll get to go out and actually go out and adventure. Because I know that's one thing she has in common, that we want to go places. But then again, I don't want to go that far away without my kids, because that's too far, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like that conundrum as well. Like, I want to go do things with her, but then again, my children.
Yeah, well, 4 days is 4 or 5 days is an awful long time to be away, from the kids as it is from. Well, I've only one kid, but it's killing me at the minute. Like 3 weeks ago, we were pretty sure whenever I said, because I said they have to drive home and that's a killer, and the girlfriend loads up the car and I would put the child in the back seat. Hi, Maya. And I would put the child in the back seat, and Daddy loves you, and give her a kiss and a hug and all the rest of it. And she's learning to talk at the minute. And
oh, it's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, she mumbled. I'm pretty sure she mumbled "love you" or whatever, and my woman was listening, and she was like, "No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Definitely not." And I was like, "Right, okay, take my fucking moment away from me. That's fine." But then,
yeah. I actually was lucky. I got that moment actually about 2 weeks ago. My little girl, she's 4, and she doesn't say the word like "I love you" to anyone. Like, she won't even say it. But the other day, I got it from her. She was like walking down the stairs. I'm like, "I love you, baby." She's like, "I love you too, Dad." And I was like, "Oh," because I was the only one at home. It was just me and her chilling.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yes." She said it to me, and as soon as my wife came home, I'm like, "That's what she said to me. She said she loved me." Booyah! And she's like, "Okay,
yeah,
I see how it is."
She did it this Sunday when I was giving her a hug and a kiss getting away from the car. I give her a kiss and I says, "Now, Daddy loves you." And she goes, "Love you too, Daddy." And I just turned and looked at my woman and she went, "Okay, she definitely said it that time." And I was like, "Fuck you, she did. You fucking know she did."
Isn't it the best feeling in the world, to be honest, to hear those? It's
fucking brilliant, man. Like, I'm probably a bad influence. Well, every father's a bad influence on their kids, but
yeah, that's true. I say that to mine all the time. Like, your dad's a fucking idiot. Well, why? Fucking Austin. Sometimes I say it like that too. Don't listen to your dad. Your dad's a fool. I'll try to help you out the best as I can, but don't listen to me.
Like, I've taken the daughter out in the car, and just round the estate, sort of nothing fast for her, but there's a big steep hill, and see, when you go over the brow of the hill and straight down, you're doing 30 mile an hour, but the wee girl's got her arms in the air going, wee! She's fucking loving it,
Yes.
And I had her and my mum's got a bit of land, so I would have her in the car, and I put her on my knee, and she does wee spins in the car. I would let her do the steering wheel, and she knows how to do the exhaust and turn the keys. And
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was cool up until about 3 weeks ago, where she lifted my woman's car keys, went out to the car, got in, put them in the ignition, and we went looking for her and found her at the back tooting the horn going, "Look at me! Hi!" Fuck my woman.
That's the only bad downside about teaching that.
Yeah.
They'll get the keys. Yep.
Well, I got a bollocking for that, right? And then I went to work and told the guy at work this story. And the guy was like, "Oh, man, my wee girl's 3.5. I've already had her out in the car when I'm going." He does a bit of diffing. Do you know what diffing is? Sideways circles and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he showed me a picture of his wee girl who's 3.5, and she can just reach the pedals and she's revving the car, just revving it, making noise. Obviously, I was jealous. So this Sunday, I had the wee girl out the drive by myself. My woman walked round, and I've got the daughter sort of leaning down towards the pedal, revving the car. And she was like, "Robbie, did you not know anything after last week where she was fucking driving the car? Now you're teaching her how to actually accelerate the car? She'll be grand. She'll be grand." No.
Oh, yeah.
I can understand how some people don't want to have kids, situations, don't like kids and all that there, and don't get on with kids. I want another one. Like, I have 3's my limit, but yeah, it's great having kids. They're like little drunk people sometimes, but they're very good fun. Like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, they're fun.
We get up every Sunday. I'm big into my music, so I would have her on a Sunday. My woman would get a lie in, and we would sit in the living room, and I would put on a live concert or have some music playing or put on a playlist. And oh, she loves her guitar. She's a Megadeth fan. I don't even like fucking Megadeth, like, but she likes her Megadeth.
That's good. Yeah, mine still barely speaks. She's a mumbler. She'll sit there and she'll mumble. So like, She's just coming into her voice, and she's 4. But she's big. She's really big on like taking care. She has a kitty because we just had kitties and we finally got rid of them, so we were able to keep one. So we got one kitty, and she's like follows that goddamn thing everywhere. She won't ever let it down. So that's fun. She's always in like in dresses. So we got her like princess dresses, and she always wears those all the time. She's a good, cute little girl.
My dog's called Pot, P-O-T, and the wee girl calls him Ka, and I'm pretty sure she knows that his name is Pot because like she would call him Ka and point at him and all the rest of it. Like, honey, his name is Pot, and she'll look straight at you and go, no, Ka, and I'm like, right, okay, sorry, excuse me. She calls my woman's got a wee dog that they call Bubbles, and she just calls her Baby. Baby.
Aww.
Where's Baby? So yeah, we've rambled on here for a while. Is Jesus is Lord still in the chat? Does he want to? Yeah, we could get him on, and would you be up for that?
Hell yeah, I'm always in favor of Jesus as Lord, man. I'll talk to fucking anybody. I get along with so many people. Like I said, it's really hard to really piss me off. Like you gotta just be saying some real hateful, stupid shit. And I'm talking about like everyone on both sides or everybody. It doesn't matter if Christian, pagan, or fucking atheist. It doesn't fucking matter. As long as you don't spew like hate towards other people, I'm
exactly.
fine. That's really the only thing that gets me pissed off. Like I hate it when people like use the word bigots but they're being bigots themselves, right? It's like calling out people's bigotry. Like you're being a bigot. So stop calling out people's bigotry.
I don't know if he's
not using the word right. I don't think people know what the word means and they don't use it right.
Yeah, I like to swing both sides of the fence, so to speak. Like, I prefer to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
It's far fucking easier. I don't know if you've seen there quite recently, there was that video on my channel, Walking by Faith, agreed to a conversation. He then assumed that I was bringing him on to make an absolute fool out of him, which, as you've seen tonight, you're a Christian. I have no hatred towards Christians. Yeah. He automatically assumed that I was going to make fun of him. I've been in his live streams for maybe a month, talking away till I'm having the chat. I do not agree with his Christianity at all because I think it's a wee bit of a cult. But everyone's entitled, and I wanted him on to have a conversation about it, and he refused, left a nasty comment, and threatened to ban me if I ever popped in his chats again.
Aw, that's sad.
I was.
You're banned. You can't talk to me no more.
I know. I cried. I did cry over it.
I love people who panic about like, how petty can you get? You piss me off so much, I'm not gonna talk to you no more. Okay, that's how people work out their problems. They talk, and then they come to a decision after they get done talking that, hey, we shouldn't talk to each other anymore. No. But
yeah, I hate fucking banning. I really do hate banning.
Just log in another account. You didn't say I could log into this one.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
I assumed a new identity.
On YouTube, you can't technically ban anyone, because you'll try to. And how many sock accounts has Jill got? You just can't. And then you have to come to the point where you have to learn all their different fucking names to remember them all as sock accounts. And it's just not worth it. Just fucking leave them there, let them use their main account. It's easier to give them shit.
Yep.
Because the context.
Just pick them out every time they come in. That's the best thing is you can time out them. And every time, and just wait for them to type in something like, oh, you like that? Then time them out again. If you really want to be cruel and unusual punishment, just silence them completely.
Jay's streams, if you're ever in any of Jay Pasik's streams that used to run, they used to just time out Jill for the crack. It was like a game to see who could get in first.
Yeah. Vegeta likes to do that. So it's always funny when Vegeta's just like, just because it's Jill, I think pants. I always laugh.
Vegeta give me shit because I was on both sides of the fence and told me that I was too nice to the people in Nox server. That's what we were with in reference to being on both sides of the fence. He gave me shit for that. Now Vegeta is a good lad, and I agree with a lot of things he says. He's maybe 110% extreme. He could bring it back a wee bit, but I think it's better to. I say my mind. A lot of people who do know me know that I will speak my mind. But if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you.
Sorry, I'm chewing. Yeah, I agree with you.
Did you get your chicken nuggets? Did you?
Yeah, picking nuggets for the kiddos, and the wife wanted some too. So I had to get I got an 80 piece because I wanted to get the boy extra because he was kind of good at school, and his birthday is coming up. So I'm like, here, have some more protein. So I got him a 20 piece for himself. So I'm like, all right, boy, here, you're a big boy now, because usually all he eats is just 10, and I'm fine with that. So I let him have his own 20 piece, and so the wife wants some. She's like, I want some chicken nuggets. I'm like, well, fuck. If you want chicken nuggets, I want some chicken nuggets. So I got chicken nuggets. So we go to the store, and we're like, I fucking feel like a fat ass because I go to the guy, I'm like, yo, can I get 2 40 chicken nuggets orders? And he's like, 2 40 chicken nuggets, so you want 80 nuggets? I'm like, yes, I want 80 chicken nuggets. Because I couldn't believe I ordered that much. So at least, I only wanted like 1 10 piece, and then everyone else is going to eat the rest. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, these 4 chickens. They're just going to die in this house.
80 chicken nuggets. I can't get my wee girl to eat more than 4, man. We'll get not that we would go to McDonald's, we would go to a place called Friar Tuck's. It's like alright, there's 5 or 6 of them, it's like a wee local place. Man, I'll send you a DM of their fucking chicken burgers. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, and all the rest of it above. And sorry for the blaspheming, but my goodness, this is a good chicken burger. But yeah, she won't even eat like 4. She's not she eats in the morning. She's a big breakfast eater, and then she sort of would nibble at lunch. She wasn't quite well there for a while.
Yeah, my poor boy, he's autistic, so he has that food problem boundary where he only eats certain food, so it's really hard to feed him. Like, I hate fucking sending him to school with his home lunch because all he eats are, like, seriously, Cheez-Its, Check-Its, crackers, and, like, a protein bar or some shit like that. But, like, he doesn't eat actual nutritional food, and it fucking kills me. I'm sorry to tell him, like, you're eating sugary. I'm like, all you're eating, kiddo, is just dirt covered in flavor. I'm like, I might as well just feed you that because you're not getting anything nutrition out of this, and that's what always gets me. It's like, my poor boy doesn't eat properly. We try to feed him so hard. That's the only hard thing. It always gets me down because of the poor kid. But it's one of those things we struggle with. But it is what it is.
No, man.
As long as he keeps eating his chicken nuggets, I really don't care. As long as he's getting some chicken in him.
My first cousin has fucking 4 kids. 2 of them are autistic. One of them is 9 and has never spoken a word.
That's rough stuff, yeah.
He still has to be put in a stroller. He throws fits and everything, still has to be put in a stroller. And, I would talk to Lindsay. We were at a wedding there a couple of weeks ago, and she had to get a babysitter just specifically for him, so she could have her wedding day. Obviously, she was back and forth and stuff. She didn't ignore him, but if he screams in the corner whenever you're trying to say your vows, you need to have someone there, to look after him. Like,
yeah.
And I totally feel like, I don't know what level of autism it is, but his is quite extreme. Doesn't speak, throws fits, has to be put in a stroller. So I feel your pain, man. There's an awful lot of it's hard. I'm blessed. I have been blessed with our wee girl. She's had no problems. She's coming on great. She's growing like a fucking weed. She's in 4-year-old clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best part, man. Watching them grow.
Oh, I'm sick of watching her grow. My woman doesn't do it in drips and drabs. Like, she outgrew them trousers. Oh no, she outgrew that top. Instead of buying a new pair of trousers and a new top, my woman will just set it to the side, work her way through the wardrobe, and then when everything's done, she's like, yeah, can I have 200 quid? We need to buy a new wardrobe for the child. It's like, what?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, that's how it goes. We started smart, see, because we were always taught, like, to buy ahead, always buy the next size if you're going to get something, so this way you have one for, like, you grow into it, and then you still have it.
Yeah,
and then, like, if there's another kid, you can hand me down it.
Well,
like, oh, here.
Yeah, she's bin bagged everything and it's there for the next one. It's not a problem, and she's very good with that. It's all vacuum sealed and washed before she goes in. She's a wee bit anal about that, like, but it is well.
Oh yeah.
It'll be good for the next one, but the first one's a fucking sting, absolute sting, like.
Oh yeah, it always gets expensive. Like the first 4 years because of the diapers and all that. Once that comes off, money gets a little better. It all depends on your financial situation, but diapers are always fun. Having to run out and buy diapers.
Well, nappies, as we call them here, aren't too expensive. Like, you would spend maybe Tesco's does deals where Tesco's is like a wee local Walmart sort of thing. Well, local, it's fucking everywhere. It's like a Walmart sort of thing, and if you go in, you can get Pampers and you can maybe get Oh, I'm gonna pull a number out of my arse here because I haven't bought them in a while. My woman usually buys the nappies for her plater, but you know you can get something like 40 nappies for not that expensive. You're talking maybe 15 quid if you
Yeah.
time it and you buy one get one free. Because Tesco's do that an awful lot on the Pampers nappies.
Well, that's good. But fuck yeah, we just like for me it wasn't that hard because like I had like a drug habit, whatever. I still kind of do. But back when I was doing it, it like I stopped smoking because of the baby. So I was like, all right, cool. So like buying the diapers was like not that big a deal because I was as much as I was spending about diapers was as much as I was spending about my on my habit. So it was weird how it worked out that way, and like I really didn't have to struggle with it. It's like, oh, okay, cool, because I was already giving something away for it. It's like this whole time I liked how like it kind of gave me that cushion doing something like that.
Yeah.
I always thought that was interesting.
Yes,
Like,
Gio.
so,
I can see the chat, Gio. I don't know. No, sorry. I've it running here and I can see
oh,
the
you're
chat. And obviously because he said in the chat, "Can I see him?" I'm like, "Yes, I can see you." It's also on screen, so I can see that on screen as well.
Now, does yours go in the live comments? Because like some people have been saying with StreamYards, like their live comments don't show up for them at all.
Oh no,
Like
yes,
with mine,
I'm
it doesn't
bypassing.
show up. Yeah.
I'm bypassing StreamYards. If you actually look in the top corner, we're not live on StreamYards. This is a test stream.
Oh,
It's not,
cool.
and what I'm doing is I'm capturing the screen, and I cropped the screen.
Oh, so you're not even broadcast. You're using OBS and then stream. Oh, that's genius, my good friend.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was a
That
handy
is
idea.
brilliant. I like that. Oh,
So like if we chop and change, I have one. I've built one for one, which is basic. I can chop to it, and it's just this. So if it's only me, then if you're looking at the screen, I don't know if you can see YouTube. I've got the two people showing, or I can have,
yeah.
or I can have one or whatever. If it goes to six, and then obviously I've got the two people one, and then I haven't. Well, there's not three people in here, but I've got a three people one as well. So if three people jump in, I have it cropped for that too. Oh no, wrong button. Sorry, wrong button. Fucking that's what I see. Leave the damn thing alone. Stop messing about with the fucking thing. Leave it alone.
Actually, I don't know if I prefer the other one for the. I like the one in the middle a little bit more. Oh wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, this one.
I saw that. Yeah.
You prefer this one, yeah?
The big frame one. We're both just in one big frame.
Yeah, there. So this one gives me
There's like a delay, so I have to wait.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that one.
There
that
you go.
One, that one looks
Yeah.
nicer. I like that one better.
Cool, if you're happy enough with that. But it has the powered by StreamYards in the top corner, which I don't like, and I ain't gonna bloody pay for it.
Just find somebody and rob their StreamYards ID. Just find their credit card. Like, here you go.
Well, the cropping seems to work. I just have to get round to be able to crop it up until 6 people. I've cropped it for 1, 2, and 3, so I just have to do 4, 5, and 6, and then it'll be ready to go. It's way easier than Zoom, Everybody, you just have to
Yeah,
click.
with Zoom, you have to pay for Zoom.
Yeah, I
But you
know.
could do it through Discord too if you feel like there's a way to do it with private group messages. You can do it through that. It's just that someone has to always be on,
And
otherwise the call will get disconnected.
you have to be friends with them on Discord as well to actually do a group chat.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because we did a group chat because when I built the computer, I had Dragondop. Fuck, I can never say his name. He is German, and I had Megadirk, who was in the chat earlier, and I had a stream where they were watching a video feed I was doing of my computer, and they actually talked me through building my computer. I just ordered the parts online, all arrived at the house, and then I had a clamp set up on the windowsill with the phone doing a video session of the building of the computer while I was talking to them. So they helped talk me through the building of it. But you had to be friends because Megadirk I wasn't friends with him. I was in the, obviously, servers. But I had to become friends with him for him to join the group.
Yeah, I was thinking about like building my own PC, but then I'm like, I don't know exactly remember how to do all that crap. So I'm like, I'm just gonna buy the cheapest one I can find that looks good. So I bought like a gaming PC because I knew I'd be able to stream off it. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't really do gaming, but I really just wanted to do streaming in case I got into it. Because like I said, I still want to use like my broadcast system because I want to get into photography, not
Megan,
photography, but making films. I want to be like a film director, so I want to start using OBS for like stuff like that and all the other things.
have you
Like
seen
if I
DaVinci
ever get into
Resolve
it.
6?
Ever
16?
seen what?
DaVinci Resolve 16.
Not yet. I looked it up. Like I remember asking you the
It's
last time.
super complicated, man, but then they did use it for fucking making Deadpool, and other movies. There is a free version, and the free version has a good 60-70% of the stuff. You can do everything on it. It's way too complicated, like, but it's pretty good. Building a computer now as well is a hell of a lot easier. I used to build computers in the 90s, but it's Magadirk, you'll not be allowed to. Hold on, give me 1 second. Now you can. Yeah, building a computer now was so much easier than what it used to actually be, man. It's so much easier now.
But I heard like now they do like hydro works where you can put water as the cooling system for your CP, and I'm like, what? You could have cold water running through your system, cooling it off.
I need to do
And,
that. That's
and the dude's like, yeah, for like $1,000 more. And I was
I,
like, dope. I wish I could get that. Like maybe if I ever get that much spare.
no, I need to do that. I have a fan at the front pulling in air, and a fan at the back kicking out air, and obviously fan in the CPU and all that, and there's a fan in the GPU and all that. And you seen whatever happened when I hit live. It fucking crashed the first time. It didn't work. So I have the actual side of the computer popped off with a desktop fan that you would clamp to a desk, and I've it running blowing cold air in as well.
That's weird. Well, then again, this one is for the one I'm using is fairly new. If you have a lot of stuff on yours, and that could possibly be it too.
Well, the
Like,
fans are built in.
Are you running things off of your CPU or off your GPU? Because if you're still running things off your CPU, that could be probably why it's taking so much. You should try to switch to it to where your OBS is running off your GPU. Because that's going to make it better.
Yeah, we should have a chat about that, because I'm not sure. As I say, I had to get a German man and a Dutch man to build my computer via video link, so.
My stuff was like freaking. I got lucky enough. I think OBS does it automatically, but I just don't know how to switch it from. Like, there's a way to like you can use CPU and GPU. I think because mine both like I'm running like my monitors off of my video disc or whatever it's called, my game. I forget, the video card or whatever.
Yeah, both of
So
mine
it's
are
off of that.
both of mine are running off that. I've got one running through a HDMI lead, and the other one's running through a DVI lead.
Yeah, that's what I got too. That's the exact same thing that I'm doing too.
Yeah, so
but then I also have on the on the system itself. There's a HDMI cord, so if I wanted to, I could have a third monitor, which I'm trying to do. It's just I cannot find. I don't know how to make it to where I can use both the GPU and CPU HDMI ports, so I can do that. So
Yeah,
that's the
well, it
only thing
depends
I
if
need
you're.
to figure out how to do.
I could be wrong in this. Nerdy or Megadirk would probably correct me here, but I have 4 ports on the back of my motherboard that allows me to plug in, HDMI leads and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
On top of the 2 that comes with the GPU, but because I don't have built-in graphics, I don't think I could be able to use them.
I think maybe that's why mine doesn't do it because of that, but I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't
I'm trying
have
to do that for mine.
if you don't have built-in graphics, then it has no function to actually run the graphics.
That's probably why then.
That's probably why it doesn't work. But yeah, we went from religion to dogs to babies, and now we're on computers. This is good. And now 10 minutes and we'll have done an hour.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, 12 people watching. If it goes for an hour, that could be 10 hours watch time. So, whoop-de-doo.
I stole the show from Richard. That's what happened. Mwahaha.
Well, I was with Richard a couple of weeks ago, but Richard and me were sort of just chatting out of the blue on Discord, and he was like, do you want to come on? And I was like, yeah, it's 3 in the morning and I've been drinking. He's like, come on the fuck anyway. Well, I'm not verbatim, but that was a disaster, man. I'll leave it up there, and I shared it on my channel, but that was a disaster. I had too much wine.
That's always the best part, though.
I know what.
Then again,
At
that's
least.
why I think if I ever got drunk and came online, I'd break my shit for one. So I'd be very pissed off because I know I'd break my shit because I'd fucking bump into it and my TVs would fall and I'd be like, fuck. look what I did, and I just break it all because I'd get fucking dirty drunk ape mode, and I just start smashing shit. Eventually, fling my pool at the walls in anger.
Yeah, I need to get a controller because I'm running. You know, I don't know if you've seen, man. I did a wee bit of Abe's Odyssey. If you remember that from childhood, if you were old enough to have Abe's Odyssey in the PlayStation 1, no.
Oh nope, I was too poor.
Well, yeah. So yeah, we were all a bit poor them days, but this was afterwards, you know. But anyway, trying to run it in a fucking keyboard and a PlayStation 1 game is not fucking good. So I need to get an Xbox One controller because it's got built-in Bluetooth and I've got a Bluetooth transmitter. But yeah, Abe's Odyssey's fun, man. You should look it up. You should download the emulator. It's free, you know. It's a little alien. Abe's Odyssey. It's a little alien that runs around and farts, and it's right up your street, man. Right up your street. There you go, Mega Dirks in the chat. You could have also disabled your onboard video in your BIOS. Well, Mega Dirk, you were in my BIOS. Haha, no pun intended.
Sorry.
He did. He was in.
I have a perfect mind.
It wasn't said that way for not a reason, you know. Oh. Well, one guy, Tog, I really want to say thanks, man, just for coming on. I'm not ending it yet. We'll have an wee chat. I'm good for a wee while yet if I can think of things to say. But yeah, appreciate you coming on, man, and not letting me down.
Oh yeah, man. No, definitely. Like I said, I almost was just trying to get home. That's it, and I was just waiting. I was caught up at McDonald's because, like I said, they were like, "You're ordering so many freaking nuggets."
Yeah, 80
I'm
fucking
sorry.
chicken nuggets. I'm never going to get over that, man.
I'm a big fat man. I need freaking nuggets. I need my food. Stocking up for the winter.
I'm a breakfast man. I'm like the daughter. I eat a big breakfast, and then at lunchtime I usually go and what Lucy's usually live in around my lunchtime, so I would go and talk to her. Or if anyone's seen Remember Sammy Jenkins, everybody needs to sub to Remember Sammy Jenkins. He's building his own channel at the minute, and ex-Jehovah Witness, lots of stories, lots of plans in the making. So give I'll Remember Sammy Jenkins, and he's doing a 10-hour drive home. That man's driving 10. No, he's not. He's sitting in the passenger seat and letting the girlfriend drive or the wife drive.
Oh.
But he's doing 10 hours of a drive. It's still a lot. But that
There was a freaking Jehovah's Witness guy that I had on my channel, and
that's probably not you.
No, he was his handle was just bored, and his channel got like deleted.
Really? Just bored.
Yeah.
Was an
Yeah,
ex-Jehovah Witness.
He was an ex-Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, I believe he said that's what he said he was. The guy was like sporadic, so I didn't know if he was like a Poe or not. But he wanted to talk about like the benevolence of Jesus, to see if Jesus was actually benevolent. And he just went on like this tangent view of like God's evil. He believes in God, but God's evil, and God's, you know, like actually the devil or whatever. And like how Jehovah's Witness have like fucking a secret pedophile ring or something because he was a president of one. And like it was fucking creepy. And he was like, he put videos up on like his YouTube of all like the places he was talking to people, even my video. And like he's just like gone, and like I have no idea who the hell he was. And it's just one of those weird things. Like, because I wanted to have another interview with him because I like, he was a Maoist, I believe they're called, you know, believe in God, but believe God's evil, you know, whatever. That he's not a good God, that he's a bad God. And I'm like, okay, whatever, that's cool, I can agree with that. That's fine. But it was just like one of those things like, where was he coming from about this like Jehovah's Witness thing? Because I was like, what are you talking about there? And he never really got into detail about it. Like every time he tried to bring it up, people would like get him more about the apologetic side, but not like about the like Jehovah's Witness, the weird sexting that he was talking about. It always like gets on the back of my mind now every time someone mentions Jehovah's Witness. No, not Patient Beard. No, Patient Beard's pretty cool. I know Patient Beard. I was the first person he had a live hangout with.
Well, there, yeah, and well, technically this isn't my first live. We've done a couple of tests, but yeah, you helped me with the test as well when we went live. That didn't work, so You popped
Yeah,
his cherry, and
never whore.
you were his first guest and my first guest. Thank you again.
I like popping cherries. What can I say? It's a bad habit of mine.
And you give them 80 chicken nuggets afterwards just to keep them happy.
Yeah, it's better than the Kiwana. You get 70 virgins. You get 80 chicken nuggets.
Well, we could all make a joke and say Raptor Jesus did evolve for our sins, didn't he?
Yeah. He
And
changed the
Shane is
game.
here. Shane is here. Hello, Shane. I can't fucking at you because of your stupid typo. Yeah, that didn't work. So, yeah. Hi, Shane. Do you know Shane?
I don't think I do. I think I've been in a conversation with them.
Shane is actually Skynet in disguise. He does be everywhere.
Sorry, I was sneezing my ass off.
I said Shane is actually Skynet. He's everywhere. So in a few years' time, whenever the Terminators take over, you can say that you knew Skynet.
Cool. I like how his moderator name is changed and everyone else's. That is pretty cool. And how does he do that?
It's just a different what do you call it? Font.
How do you change it? I didn't know you could do that.
What do you call did it before? Geo did it as well before, but it made it really awkward to tag him. You know, if you're trying to tag somebody, it makes it really awkward. Yeah, if you're gonna.
I kind of did that with my own. With that's why I had like the T in front. But it's this one guy, but it's technically his one guy because it's a play on words or whatever. But yeah, it's supposed to but yeah, everyone's like always doing that. But I've always wanted to do I wanted to make the T. If I had the T, I'd make it like Toro.
Yeah, man. What do you call it? Send Geo a message on my Discord. He collects fonts. He'll send you a font. He's done it before, so I'm sure Geo wouldn't mind giving you a hand there. It's dead easy. It couldn't be difficult. It's just changing a fucking font,
Yeah, it should be. But I don't know if I'm gonna be going here in a bit. I forgot. I have to get going to work and.
Man, yeah, 2 minutes.
Not right now.
Yeah, couple of minutes.
Just whenever she's coming by. I just remembered that.
Here, anything after an hour, I was happy. An hour, 45 minutes an hour was where I was aiming for. So, we've talked an awful lot of bollocks.
We'll just keep going. That's fine, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's good. No. I'm just happy that it all worked after all the problems I've been having. See, when I originally started, there was a customer come into work and I opened her boot to get stuff out of the boot. And she had an old TV sitting there. And she was like, oh, excuse the TV, I'm taking that to the dump. And I was like, why, what's wrong with it? She goes, oh, it switches off after 15 minutes. I was like, right, I can fix that. I'll take that TV. It was freaking 32-inch flat screen. I took it home, took the back off it, hoovered the dust, put it up, and it worked. No problem. But that's why I was having problems, because OBS automatically sets it up for what screen rate you're using. And the TV I got rid of to match another screen that I got, so that the two screens are the same size, so they match.
Yeah.
And when I did that, OBS didn't pick up on the new one. So it was still...
You can change it in your phone settings or in your display settings.
Oh, I did. That's why it's
online.
working. Yeah, that's why it's working now. But that's why it wasn't working at the start. Because it was sending it out at 1920 and screen rating at 1280. Some bollocks. I don't know. It's done now. Let's not jinx it. But that's what happened. It was set up for the old screen rate, you see. But I'm just glad that it's working now. That's it. That's the point I'm trying to make. We've talked for an hour. We've aimed for an hour. And bar me hitting buttons that I shouldn't hit, everything seems to have worked.
Yeah, like I said, the things to watch out for is when your freaking internet lags. Sometimes when I'm game streaming, my signal will just randomly pop out. But I don't know if it's affecting my stream. So when I'm streaming, I don't know if it starts lagging out. Because I never actually play back and look. Because I look at the chat because I have the chat open on OBS because I use the restream and it makes it a lot easier because I can just look into OBS and I can see OBS and everything's all right there.
Yeah.
The chat and a title and everything, and whatever other websites that I want to stream to. Because when I do Twitch and Mixer. And I'm starting to bring my stuff to YouTube, but I really don't do a lot because I get vulgar. I just don't want to hurt people's feelings. I think, I should get into gaming mixing with what I'm doing with my fake stuff. I told I told this in private to praise that I am, but like I'm trying to watch what I say about like Christianity, because I realize that like when I'm going online, and I think I said this to Raging Atheist too, but like I don't want to be a false representative of people. I don't want to, because my views aren't orthodox or whatever.
Yeah, but you don't
Um,
need to be. You're only as a representation at the end of the day of yourself, man. You know.
well, I know that, but at the same time, I don't want to be used as like a poster boy, so to speak. Like, because I know if I'm like eventually, yeah, I'd like to be that, but I just don't think
A
I'm a
poster boy for
qualifier
what? Yeah.
for that.
Look, at the end of the day, man, we're all like that. I would consider myself agnostic, atheistic towards the Christian Bible God, but generally agnostic. But you look at that conversation I had with Richard, I'm spouting some woo in that fucking conversation, you know? I didn't hold back because of the wine. I'm talking about fucking family witches and ginger hair and blue eyes and all. You know, that's not the general theme of agnostic. You know, it's everybody's different. Just
Yeah, it's just one of those weird things that always gets on me. Like if I think about it, it's like one of those things like well, I guess it's like if you think about it in the long run, like yeah, I could say one thing, but then again, what I say could have an effect to somebody out in like the future, whoever watches back on these YouTube videos, right? So the way I think, I'm like, well, what if where I'm charismatic, like if I'm not portraying myself to be like a good Christian, if I'm just jacking off or whatever, so to speak, not jacking off as in jacking off, I'm just passing off people. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just goofing around.
I have to
Because
apologize.
I
No,
like to goof around,
yeah,
but it's not that like technically some of the stuff that I goof around, it's not very Christianly, and yeah, it's a process of it. But I forgot whose channel I explained this on, but I explained it like
at
it's
the end
like
of the day, you're being yourself, man. You know, I totally get what you're saying because I used that phrase and I can't remember who it was actually came back to me. It was one way apologetics. That's who it was because I said about that guy threatening to block me from his channel if I jumped back in, and I made the joke that that's not very Christian like, and he was all, well, what do you mean by that? And went down that route. And it's like, man, it's a joke. It's a colloquially used phrase. Everybody knows what it means. What are you doing? You know.
yeah. But yeah, it's again, but again though, like for me, like I use Matthew's 12, 36 and 37. Uh, that one's I think holds I think words that you can say what you want, but then again, you're gonna be accountable for the things you say. So
You do have
and
to be held accountable.
I
Yes.
respect that in the sense that I don't want the things that I say to hurt anybody, unless like if I'm trying to hurt somebody, well then I need to work on that, and then two, I don't want to effectively hurt people just because they think away. I mean, sometimes yeah, it's unavoidable, but at the same time too, it hurts me a lot more to think that I could cause by just saying something stupid and off the cuff, and so like I'm trying to watch like what I say when I'm talking about the God and my belief system because I don't want to, especially those who already like, especially like I guess what I'm saying like with Raging Atheist, I was on his channel. I say I was supposed to go, but I was. My internet cut out, and there was nothing I could do about it. I was like, fuck. But I really didn't even want to participate into the show at all because I felt like I didn't have anything to bring at all towards it because it's just I don't feel like I'm a part of the Christian community. Two, I really never been a part of any community because I'm mostly antisocial.
Do you feel that
So it's
personally
like,
though? That do you feel
yeah,
that? No, no, no. I mean, like, do you feel that you're not part of the Christian community, as in Christian community around you, Christian community on YouTube? Because well, that would be relevant to what I would know. But
I,
do you?
yeah, I guess like a pretty much the same thing. Like I just want to be the guy who just pops in and out. Like I really don't want to be in community per se. Like because I don't know how to like. Yeah, we're talking and all stuff, but I'm not that good. It's like bringing up like random shit. I guess like actually sticking with it and staying with people. I never have been. I never been able to process that. That type of stuff. So it's like hard because I feel like I let a lot of people down, and people have this impression about me and I'm not up to their impressions, and I don't want to give them a false impression either.
Well, again,
It's
that's
one of those
well,
weird things.
yeah, that's why I like to get to know people at the start because, like, as I say, whenever you did that particular interview, and we had a conversation afterwards, I did say to you, as well as it being blatantly fucking obvious and blunt with you, I can get your point of view because I know you in that context of what you meant by your joke. You know, what you meant by that statement. You know, people that don't know you would take it the wrong way and take it this way. But again, with getting to know people, it means a difference, makes a difference.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, that interview is one. I think one of the reasons why that made me turn to think like that, because one, I didn't know if he was trying to push his agenda or whatever, and then I'm just being made whatever, you know. Because one, I suck at just having strict interviews like that. Yeah, I suck at interviews, so it's not my strongest suit and it's not my best light. So I figured, like, if I'm going to be put in those situations, I'm not going to be thinking to the best of my ability because I'm going to be sidetracked because I'm going to be nervous and all that.
Yeah, which
so
is...
it's like I don't want to be in those situations, and it's kind of felt like that, especially like not when it's one on one. It's easier because again it's one on one, but you have more than one. It's like it's not that it's overburdening. It just sometimes turns into this where it all becomes like a poking fest, you know?
Yes.
And now all the questions start going to you, and the focus gets on you. I'm a Leo, right? I'm supposed to love the center of attention and all that, but I don't. I really don't. I try to avoid it. So, like, I like being a part of things. I like chiming in, but I don't want to be the main focal point. It freaks me out, and so, like, I'm kind of happy that, like, my freaking internet get out, because I told Rage in private about it, because I felt bad. Because I was that's honestly what I was going to say to him was I don't feel like I'm a good representative of the Christian community to be talking about these issues because I just don't feel comfortable. I really don't. I don't feel comfortable with the things being presented because what do I know of community? I'm barely on this stuff. You know, I talk to people like well, this is small talk, right?
Yeah,
so a little bit of small talk, a little bit of thing. That's not a lot. You know, that doesn't to me that doesn't define me as a Christian. Plus, I'm only been like a Christian for a year. I'd rather find someone who's had like a lifelong experience of Christianity, you know, who's actually experienced a lot of shit.
Well, a lifelong in Christianity would mean a lifelong of, you know, indoctrination and non-critical thinking and things like that. That's why I would prefer to have a conversation with Richard because, as he said on the Sky Out stream, which I didn't know, he was an anti-theist for decades. You know, and then he went into theism, whatever his stance is at the minute.
Yeah.
Anyone who I would find that has been in Christianity their entire life doesn't know. Like, there's my granny, and I would be quite active, and I don't fucking hold back, as I say. And my mum would be having conversations with me when my granny's there, and my granny would pop in and go, and what are you talking about, this, that, and the other. And I would go at my granny. I would say, not go at her. I would say things to her and talk about that if it's brought up in the Bible. And only when I brought it up, like she's 83 this year, and she didn't know that there was incest on the Bible. And I says about Sodom and Gomorrah, knew all about it. Pillar of Salt, knew all about it. 2 daughters getting their fucking dad drunk up in the caves because they were too lazy to walk fucking to the next city. Incest. Didn't know that had happened. Wasn't taught that ever in school, in church, in any of that. So when you find someone who's been in the church their entire life, they've only been taught certain things. It cherry picked, yeah. You know.
But yeah, it's one of those things that people like take for granted. But it's one of those weird things too. That whole incest thing's like, okay, it fucking happened.
Well, not even that, again, man. You can compartmentalize.
In my mind, I'm like, were they his actual daughters though, or like what the hell happened here? Like, you gotta look more into that. Like, I think there's something else. I forgot what because I wrote it down a while back, but I deleted it.
But even that, man, you're taught from the get-go to be you're taught to compartmentalize. You know, compartmentalize. Like whenever I brought up again with my granny because you know she's and has been in the religion and it would consider herself a Christian, a very strong Christian, a Presbyterian, very sure about that. She's not a Catholic. Catholics aren't real Christians. You know, Adam and Eve, they had sons. And who the fuck did the sons marry? Where did they come from? She never even thought of that. You know, if God only created 2 people, where the hell did the rest of the people come from? You know, never even thought of it. They weren't taught to think that way. I think it's better to have conversations with people who have at least questioned their faith for a while, and went and had a look, and went and had at least fucking Google,
Well,
at
I
least
think
Google it.
that's one of the biggest problems is that people, again, they're mostly caught on. They sell their belief by fear, right? You
Yeah,
gotta fear God.
fear
You can't
sells.
do things with God. You know, they've never been put in this position because they think big, big brothers out there watching them in the sky somewhere. Oh, God's watching me. I can't fucking do this.
Have
Well,
you
yes, you
seen?
can do it.
Have you seen the book
God
of?
doesn't care if you do it. You just have to answer for it later. To be honest, He doesn't give two shits what you do. You just have to, when the fucking time comes, the time comes. That's all that matters. And it's like people don't question God, right?
Yeah,
They don't look to God as they look to God as like a dictator. They don't look to God as like a father, and that's the difference. It's like he's supposed to be a fucking dad. And go to your fucking dad and ask him questions, or
Yeah.
fucking ask your dad. Your dad's gonna get pissed off when you fuck up because he's your dad, right? We all know this. So to me, they look at it from not that perspective, and then they get taught, don't question.
Nobody is perfect. Everybody has bad days, and even a father is wrong. I was changing the girl's nappy a couple of months ago, and she reached up and she kicked me between my legs with both feet. Yeah, that noise. Yeah, that noise. I got up and I walked out of the room into the kitchen for 2 seconds, and my slippers were sitting on the radiator, and I lifted that slipper and I bait that slipper off the wall, and then I walked back in again and went, "Hi honey, please don't do that again. Daddy doesn't like it when you do that." It's like, we're not perfect. We're not perfect. But I don't know, that was just an anecdotal story I went with out of nowhere.
My little girl did that. She does that fucking to me when I'm pushing her in the car. And it pisses me off to high because she always gets me when I'm not expecting it. Like, I'm expecting it, but then the moment I let my guard down, because you know why she does it? Because she ready to push the cart. She wants mom, and I take one in the noggins.